Now, let us, being a Sunday, I think everybody will be wanting to wind up. So let's immediately go to the next session, that is on social entrepreneurship and women for resilient communities. And to enlighten the team on that, we have Dr. Rosewine Joy, who has a real practical corporate experience. She has both academic and corporate experience of 12 years with Presidency University Bangalore and multinationals such as Hewlett Packard India, Citibank, and Modi Xerox. And she's attended many conferences, including FAO of UN Italy, UK, Sandy, Bangkok, etc. She's won a lot of awards, including the Raj Fellowship for Economic Researchers, Young Professional Award for International Development Research Center, and Hall of Fame Award for the Best Performance from Hewlett Packard. So here we have a person with both academic and corporate experience to speak on this topic of social entrepreneurship. Over to you, Rosewine.
Thank you so much, Nirmala ma'am. Good evening, everyone, one and all. I first of all thank Cochin University to call me for a FAO for a program where I could speak, an FTP program organized by Department of Youth Welfare and Women's Studies, Department of Women's Studies. Thank you so much for calling me. It is very nice to come back. I did my PhD from Cochin University of Science and Technology, and been working quite last 12 years in both corporate and academics. Right now I'm in academics. So I was last 20 minutes, I was just listening to the 25 to 30 minutes I was discussing to the discussions which were going on as women as caretakers, women as, whether to give pension and all. Honestly, I felt a little bit out of place technically. Reason being, I have come here with a idea of how to kindle leadership and entrepreneurship in women. So, well, I think different perspective matters, and this is my perspective of how we should see women, how I see women, and how to proceed with. So, so my topic is on social entrepreneurship and women for resilient communities. So here I want to ask few questions. I know it is a Sunday, and I have just another maybe 30 or 25 minutes, and then I have to wind up with a question and answer session. So quickly, I just want a few questions. I want some answers from you guys. Okay, all of you. How our leaders look like? Major qualities 100 years back? Any idea? Any input from the participants? Just participate, otherwise it's boring, honestly. I'm sure you have heard a lot of theory last 5 years.
I think you've already seen Bahubali.
So 100 years back, our leaders were looking like Bahubali, all muscle power, that is how our leaders look like, right? This is how our leaders look like, yes. And all muscle power, and they are strong, and their strength and power was shown through muscle power. That is how our leaders 100 years back. What about now? Any guess? Participate.
We didn't get time to see that.
No, you have to guess. Whose picture come to your mind as a leader?
Thinking still patriarchal, madam.
Patriarchal, yes, it is still patriarchal. And who would be our leaders? Is it so with a lot of muscle power? Doesn't Modi ji have a lot of muscles? No, right? Anybody?
If it was muscle power, I think Narendra Modi would not have become, nor would the New Zealand Prime Minister, nor a British Prime Minister.
No, today's leaders are to a great extent, when the youth look at leaders, for them the leaders are to great extent not politicians, they are corporate leaders. It is like it's here. It is not muscle, but it is in here, intellectual capacity. I want to show him. Does he have any muscle? No, he is our own Indian Sundar Pichai. of CEO of Google. So do you think it is all here? That is what the transition was happening, transition which has happened, right? So from 100 years down the line, muscle power, we are now thinking our mental power is what, how innovative we can be, all those things. But now my question is, what is the future? The future is, our world is in under crisis. We know what we are going through. We have a lot of natural disasters across the world, infectious diseases, COVID. Those viruses are taking our life for a stride. We faced, like Kerala had faced floods last 2018, 2019, and we can see these kind of natural disasters across the world, infectious diseases, human initiated disasters like terrorism and bioterrorism, and all those things are happening. So who will be our future leaders? What is the quality of a future leader according to you? What is required? Is it muscle power? Is our mental power and all those things? Is what is required?
Creativity.
Creativity is one, of course. One of the, because any ladies, Ravi Chetan, thank you so much. He was my senior.
Yeah.
Managing the crisis situation, ma'am.
Managing the crisis situation. Yes, if you want to manage the crisis, what is the major quality required? Okay,
management skill should be there.
That is there, but empathy is the quality of a leader. It's future leaders. Okay, and who are the people who have empathy?
No one.
No, it's the women. Your mom has empathy, right?
That's leaders, right?
Yeah, leaders, future leaders are women, because they are, what we world require is empathy. And you can see a plethora, you can see a lot of leaders currently itself taking up the power, and we are gearing up to see more and more leaders in future who are from women. Okay, who are women. Okay, so future leaders require empathy. That is the quality required for a leader, because world is, right now we are facing pandemic. We are trying to manage pandemic. Do you think it is going to end now? No, world is not going to stop facing crisis. Crisis is going to continue. I take a paper called crisis management for my management students. So I used to tell them, this is one of the major quality, you have to manage the crisis. Then don't be like a man, be like a woman. Okay, because you have to be empathetic, otherwise you can't be a leader. Okay, so see, what is the condition of India in this scenario? Okay, women are, we know that if world is under crisis, we have a lot of problems to solve, and we want women leaders because they are the one who have the highest level of empathy. And if men want to be leaders, be like women, be empathetic. So that is the new buzzword in leadership. So what is the condition of women in India now? Where we lack, where we stand is my question. We have 50% of population which are women, and 1/3 only is participating. If you look into the data, 2004 to 2017-18, we can find that the unemployment rate is, we can see that the number is not really great. Okay, so our labor participation is not improving. Then how can we have women leaders? Suddenly nobody can be leaders, right? So we need to have some kind of practice and participation in whichever form it's required to become leaders. So I don't say that in this scenario government is not doing anything, or government is silent. No, they have a lot of initiative to improve women participation in the workforce. It's like safety of women at work. That is one of the major scheme which has been adopted from, we have harassment of women at workplace redressal act 2013. Okay, this is one of the initiative by government to ensure more women participation. Then we have Mahila Shakti Kendra scheme, which is empower rural women through community participation. Okay, provision of safe and affordable accommodation for this is having working, one second, I am having a fluctuation in internet, so I'm just switching off my video right now. Okay. So we have something called provision of safe and affordable accommodation, which is working women hostels. We have also women helpline schemes, which has started from 2015 April onwards, 24 hours women helpline schemes. Then we have One Stop Center, which is another scheme which is talking about integrating various a range of service like police, medicine, legal, psychological support, all those things in one center. Female entrepreneurship, I'll be detailing on female entrepreneurship a little bit in the next slide, so I'm just moving on. Then Rashtriya Mahila Kosh, this is again for micro credit for women. Then we have Prime Minister's Employment Generation Scheme, where you get a women 25 to 35% subsidies are given, especially if you are women. You know your contribution in investment is only 5%, while rest have to be 10%. So not everywhere we are getting some advantage there. And also the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, where there is a revolving fund for SHGs from 10,000 to 15,000. So these are various schemes which are there to empower women to participate in labor workforce and to be a participant and to contribute to the GDP of the country. Okay, of course, I'm moving away from the universal pension, women pension and all those things. So I'm looking from the perspective of women being able to as a workforce, as a labor. So now, of course, Kerala also have various schemes. So honestly, I have not looked into Kerala specific to Kerala. I have looked it on the national level only. And now, with regarding to why I'm just focusing on the social entrepreneurship. See, also I want to throw light upon little bit on female entrepreneurship schemes given by government. Mudra is Mudra, Startup India, and Mahila E-Hat. These are the three things which are there for female entrepreneurs. So this Mudra Yojana Institute of Finance is micro and small finance of 10 lakhs, and Startup India is a bank loan of 10 lakh to 1 crore, and Mahila E-Hat is an online marketing platform to support women entrepreneurs. So these are the some schemes which are there by the government to support the entrepreneurs. Now, why am I interested in social entrepreneurship? As I had started with the crisis and disasters, what is happening in today's world is that many of the social, cultural, and entrepreneurial issues are challenged. We have challenges to address that, and it is women has been identified as change makers who can have a contribution to social entrepreneurship and approach, and which can lead to enhancement of the livelihood of women. At the same time, also it leads to entrepreneurial growth in the country as a whole, which ultimately leads to overall growth. So what is this social entrepreneurship? So social entrepreneurship, it is an approach where it can be individuals or groups or startups or companies or entrepreneurs. They develop funds and implement solutions to social, cultural, and environmental issues. So can women participate in this? So one of the major issues why women are not able to participate in as a labor workforce. See, let's discuss why they are not able to. One, of course, safety issues. Second is they have poor networking skill. They don't know what all opportunities are available to them. Third is because they don't go outside the home. It is an issue. Then education is still women. Kerala is a totally different story comparatively. However, if you really look at overall India, we can find that the women also lack education, especially skill-based education. So this is another issue which women face. So when we have to because of, and also they don't, as correctly the previous presenter point out, money is always managed by the men. So women lack the capacity to manage money. They don't understand the management of money. That is one of the major reasons. Even with employed women, who are in service, how many of the women know to, now we are going to have our filing our tax, how many women file tax by themselves, is a question which we need to ask to ourselves. We lack really financial literacy. So because of these issues, women are not able to participate into labor force or to the next level, which is entrepreneurship. Okay, so one of the connecting aspect which can map to this issue is that bringing in social entrepreneurship, because in social entrepreneurship we are trying to solve our own problem, okay, which is environmental, social and cultural, and how women can take initiatives to solve these issues. So that is our territory of discussion. So I have from extensive, we have done studies in Kerala and Karnataka, and we have identified some 3 models are evolving in this sector. One is community partnering with women for social entrepreneurship. So because some external agencies, it can be individuals, it can be companies or groups who they give trainings. They will participate and bring in women to the mainstream by giving certain kind of trainings, and still skills, making them give them trainings. Sometimes they may not have even passed their 10th standard, but those criteria are moved out. Only skill based trainings are given, so that they can start doing some skill based jobs and have an income. Okay, so that is one of the there are 3 models which are evolving. One is community partnering with women for social entrepreneurship. Second is women evolve themselves as social entrepreneurs, and then the third one is collective to form social entrepreneurship. So these 3 models are what we can see in our research works. So in the community partnering with women for social entrepreneurship, in this we can see that there is a lot of because of this, especially in this COVID scenario and social distancing, we have increasingly started using social media. Okay, so one good advantage, see, I am mostly looking into the advantage part of it rather than the advantage. I'm focusing on the advantage part of it. Because of that, 49% there is an increase in social media penetration in rural and in India in general, and a great increase has happened in the rural also rural areas also. So this has made the issue of women much more people are more aware of the social issues and the gender-based issues today, and this has led to more and more people coming into becoming partners in women for social entrepreneurship. So there are some companies which are now getting into their CSR activities as far as our as a community activity into giving training programs to women, especially in government also have scheme, but also from a community side they are getting involved in giving training to women, and this is actually generating a lot of social entrepreneurship among women. So that is one model of social entrepreneurship which is getting which is rising. The second one model is women themselves move ahead as social entrepreneurs. They get, especially after they get training from the government schemes, they started coming up big with starting small entrepreneurships, social entrepreneurships. We are now studying on women entrepreneurs in Karnataka, especially those people who are actually growing mushroom in a sustainable manner, and how they are doing their business. So that part we are working on. So they have got training from through the schemes from government, and then they started evolving as social entrepreneurs. So this is another form which is now we can find women getting involved. And also we can see based on the different schemes, like for trailering, jute bags, and all those they are also coming up with different based on the schemes and training they have got. They started evolving as social entrepreneurs. Here in the first one, they get skill. The model in which the first one, where the community participate in women for social entrepreneurship, there they get training from these community, or it can, I just put the word community, it means it can be a company or an individual or an organization giving training. It can be an NGO giving training, so it can be any of those. So my definition of community is that in this particular scenario. There they get training and little bit of networking to understand the different schemes which are available for getting the fund and all those things. When they evolve themselves as social entrepreneurs, their major concern is money, the capital for the entrepreneurship. So this is another issue. When in the model 2, what we can find out is that when they evolve as they might have already have some skills, but they have problem in finding financials. So this is another. And also it is not only there are schemes to get fund, but nobody teach them how to manage the fund. Again, they have to go back to the male counterpart and request help. Again, it will go out of their hand after some time if the partner is not keen about empowering the women. So these kind of issues are coming in the model 2, which is a concern even for the we can see that even the schemes which are started well through the various government funded programs are stopping over the period of 4 to 5 years. In many cases, very rarely, I mean, especially in the rural village area, unless it is not being handholded. So here the issue in when women evolve themselves as social entrepreneurs, their major issue is that the financials, how to handle the financials. So this is the model 2 issue. The next one is the women become collective to form social entrepreneurs. So they can be in a collective or a cooperative form. The advantage of this form is can be a few number of women coming together to start a social entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship initiative. So here the issue, what we found, I mean, one of the best part is the risk sharing which is happening when they coming as a collective and cooperative. Even if the financial risk is pooled. So that is one advantage of coming up as a collective and cooperative, and this is increasingly catching up. And this is another model which is coming up, where from a individual shift bearer to a collective risk bearing structure, it moves. So this is the third model which is getting involved in social entrepreneurship among women. And there are a lot of also there are some confederations are also coming in place for women entrepreneurs. Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs of India, that's only a 4-year-old one, and its headquarters is in Hyderabad. So they have a Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs. So women as a collective, as a cooperative, starting social entrepreneurship is also picking up. There are some other, not only at a all India level, there are individual people actually creating these collective also, like Timbuktu.org. They are also into the collective. So I want to introduce basically the leadership and social entrepreneurship and women, and how they can contribute to to communities, especially for their resilience and bringing, especially when we are moving to through the crisis, current crisis. We have pandemic crisis right now, but the crisis is not going to stop there. And as we move on as a crisis, women participation in labor can be increased if we can push a little bit more on social entrepreneurship among women, because to a great extent they can manage them with the from home, if that is also a possibility, because with the help of mobile technology, we are able to connect to, we are having more and more opportunity to manage things from mobile technology and internet. We are having more and more possibilities to work from home, and also at the same time becoming a contributor, not only as a caregiver but also as an economic from the economic side of the family. So when we say partnership, it is we expect the men to be partner in the caregiving of the family. I strongly believe that the women should also be part of should also partner the economic strength of the family. So towards that, I think social ownership should be a way out, and these models could be could help to can lead women to be more and more social entrepreneurs. So to conclude, I think of course resilient communities is neither easy nor difficult. Of course that is a target, and it is one second, I think there is can everybody go on mute, please? Sorry. So I think the attitudinal change which we should bring in is of course women are the major caretakers still, and the societal change is not going to be fast. However, if we expect that women need the partnership of men as a caretaker, women also need to participate in the economic activities. So economic activities of the country, economics, strengthen the economics of the family also. So this is my take on it. That's all from my end, my small presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, anyone who has questions, do type in the chat box. I really am happy to talk to you, okay, because I am an academician who has accidentally blundered into social entrepreneurship. Okay, and facing all the issues. So actually, I'll start off with one question, because actually we have a social entrepreneurship unit to collect tailoring excess, sanitize it, shred it, and make soft toys.
Okay.
So we were thinking of, we were a number of like-minded women who are working for this. So we were thinking of a cooperative. Then the legal, that is when, my God, teaching is so easy compared to entrepreneurship. Now, what kind of business organization was a very, very difficult question, because some people said, see, when you were talking about a cooperative, people said, don't go in for a cooperative because the rules and mandates are very, very complex. And then you will have a, political representative later telling you what to do, and then you will not have the flexibility. So I hope there are no politicians in this group, okay? So this is strictly off the record. But finally, we were advised to, I wanted to start a women's cooperative, but then we were advised, because of flexibility, to cut it short, the flexibility of taking decisions will be very less. There are a lot of mandates. So we went in for a private limited company, okay? But again, it is a lot of about 12, 14 women who are just all retired, who just want a social hope that it will do good, and we will be able to provide a solution to the tailoring access of Cochin. And we are going to provide a livelihood to Kudumbashri units here. So the production, the actual benefit will be by them. Now, when this was started, we had a session. I attended a session by Kerala Startup Mission and some others the other day. They were telling there is a distinction between the social enterprise as understood by Indians and as understood by international agencies.
Okay.
Now, in Indians, what social entrepreneurship means is charity. Okay. But in the
Mhm.
Western form, what it means is it just means an enterprise which makes a profit, but it benefits everyone down the value chain.
Okay.
If that is the case, then we are a social enterprise because actually we are not benefiting, but society is benefiting, the Kudumbashri is benefiting. Okay. Now, when I was talking to another corporate guy who is actually creating a lot of tailoring waste, so he was looking forward to using his CSR fund through EPR. You have this extended producer responsibility, isn't it? So he's generating the fund, he has to take care of it. He was thinking of sponsoring our unit till he realized that this is not a NGO or it is not a Travancore Cochin Society registered or whatever it is. It's a it's a private limited company, but it's a social enterprise. And then he said, no, unfortunately, I can't fund. So where does the quest? If he has to exercise his EPR, he should be responsible for taking care of his. So this kind of conflicting of attitudes we find in regarding social enterprises.
I have one aspect which is not whether it is social entrepreneurship enterprise or normal enterprise. No enterprise survive without making money. That is what my assessment is. Okay, so there is no point in coming up with something like we don't want to make money. That is a wrong notion according to me. Okay, so you have to make money to run the show. We need money. It's not necessary that we make huge profit, okay, but at least those 12 people who are there has to find a livelihood, okay, because there are people, whether they are retired or because with that retired people coming together and you are giving more employment to more people, so it should have a profit motive. That is one thing I think from the discussion what I want to cut across. Okay, and it is nothing wrong to say that it as entrepreneurs should make money. Without making money, how can you run business?
You won't sustain in the long run. Yes.
The only thing is that you have to bring the sustainability principles coming into the picture, and the initiative is absolutely great. Well, I don't understand why the cooperative society is a very risky. I think you need to really look into that part because to my understanding, cooperative society, of course, I think you are being little bit colored with the political part of it little bit.
They were saying rules and regulations are too many and flexibility of taking decisions are less.
See, of course, there is a, when you are a cooperative society, the mandates are, but that is there in everywhere. We have to follow the rules and regulations in whether it is private or cooperative society. So comparing both, we cannot say that if you are a private organization, we don't have to follow the rules and regulations, right? So I don't think that would be the way out, but I think you need to explore a little bit more on the cooperative society part in this case, because I recently was supporting here we have right now I'm in Karnataka and I work with the grape farmers here. So their major problem was the middleman was taking major percentage of their money. So now what we have, and they have these, they were selling their produce to like big like big basket and all those things. So at the same time they don't have enough to sell to big basket individually, so they were not selling. So what we did is we helped them to create a cooperative, okay, with the help of course we got some help from the panchayat also, a bit of guidance from them as well on to how to because first of all we had the language problem. I still don't know to speak Kannada. I can only understand Kannada. So I took help from the panchayat as well, and they are in the process of they are registering it, and they are also planning to export now, because once you become a corporate society and all, you can get the licenses to you can also do, your reach is bigger when you are so I don't think I didn't find it so difficult here. I don't know, in Kerala the scenario is different. I need to really look into it. I've not looked into
I think the
if
rules and
so the-
regulations are quite this, because for taking a decision you will have to have so much of majority and those kind of things like that.
that is actually the leadership quality. Leadership is what so basically what is required is the leadership training is required there. So who will take decision and why it is, see, it's to a great extent it's a question of leadership and whether you will be able to get the majority. All this confusion, because women are less risk takers. They really don't want to take the risk. So that is what I could sense. So the moment we come out of that comfort zone, oh, if I say no to that lady, whether she will talk to me again, all these things, problems are coming to our mind. But we have to understand all positions are only for coordination purpose. So whenever I take a team for in my university also, whenever we are into a program, see, we will be giving a charge for some aspect. So we say that this is a job which is given by my university to coordinate among rest. Each and every person will be having some or other responsibility to do. So I think it's a issue of leadership training, and so I think once you and risk taking. So this is again a problem which we can women entrepreneurs are having. So I think along with the skill based training, these kind of trainings also we need to look into, which will help us to move ahead. As I totally understand the point which ma'am has pointed out. It is a real issue. We do have, we have skill. See, I understand. We have some agencies to give us money. Okay, the schemes are there to give money. There are agents to give us training. Okay, whether it is private or public. But the problem is the risk-taking capacity, the leadership capacity, all these things which we are not used to. It's not because we are we are not, we lead our homes, right? It's no, in a way, at least we lead our kitchens. We decide on the menu and all those things. So it is so traditionally we are leaders. So only problem is that in the outside world we are yet to take that leap. So once the moment we start doing it, I think it will be fine. It is not the issue of rules and regulation. It's a problem of risk taking and leadership. So that if you catch up, then it is possible. It means as a teacher, as a faculty, we know how to handle it. So, but when it will come to business, we need to little bit of art is required. I mean, it's very easy to tell, but it is really difficult to.
I know.
No,
Yes.
adding on to that, actually, in the case of cooperative societies, especially the case of fisheries cooperative societies, we have to look into what purpose that society was created and how far these societies are able to perform their objectives. Of course, ma'am said is correct. There are political interferences while taking decision, but every business entrepreneur is a person who is ready to take the risk. He has to surpass all these risks. At the same time, he should keep it in mind the corporate social responsibility. For what purpose that was created? But in the case of fisheries cooperatives, what I found in that actually that society was created to help the fishermen from the clutches of a middleman. But what actually the societies are doing is that if a particular fisherman needs 50,000 rupees, what they are doing is that they are giving 25,000 to one fisherman, and another fisherman they are giving 25,000. So what again happened is that the fisherman A should meet the middleman again for getting money for their daily fisheries purpose. So what is the purpose of creating a fisheries cooperative society is still forcing these fishermen to meet the middleman again and again. So that's why it's a purpose.
I found these cooperative societies across, whether it is Kerala or Karnataka, the scenario is to remove the clutches of middlemen. But initially, for 4 to 5 years, it is working well. We have to really look into that part also, where we are again falling. I mean, this is not part of it, but still. Cooperative societies, but cooperative societies and collectives are becoming a one of the most in form of most sought out form of job creation now across the world. So we need to learn from external sources also how they are able to do it successfully, and what regulations and rules can be tweaked to. As an academician, you can also communicate on how can we women social entrepreneurs, when they become collective or cooperative, what kind of support is required maybe. So that can
I'll tell you something. They need comprehensive support, as you said, because many of them now we are learning. I am first time learning how to register in Udyam, become an MSME, how to, it's a lot of legal formalities, okay, which women don't know.
Yeah, so there are some agencies which I have put the PPT in, that some links are there which actually work on supporting women on these aspects. I think one I have.
Now, in this context, Rosewine, I'll just like to highlight one aspect, because we have been trying to develop an incubation center in St. Teresa's. And St. Teresa's is an elite college located in an urban setting. Okay. So we will expect that, entrepreneurship, promoting entrepreneurship is not easy, but that's when you realize it fits in with the entire theme of this entire week's, that is gender. Because Kerala society, whatever said and done, that's what I have always been telling. We educate our girls. We don't make much distinction between our boys and girls. We educate them. We don't differentiate them in terms of their health, everything. But once they get an education, then we encourage our girls to go for employment. We don't encourage them to start an entrepreneurship unit.
That is, irrespective of gender, entrepreneurship is a second choice only. But actually, the millennials are changing. Millennials are actually now moving into more of entrepreneurship because they want to.
I know, but look at the entrepreneur incubation cells or entrepreneurs list in Kerala. You'll find 95% boys. Whereas in the education sector, you'll find 80% girls and 20% boys. So I've been trying to get these girls. Then you know what the parents say? Ma'am, we don't know where she will be after she gets married.
Another, so that is a risk, no? We can't take risk.
That
is the point which we are finally, what we boil down to, the issues of social entrepreneurship among women. I find two issues. One, it is not the money. Money, of course, money we have sorted. Skill we have sorted. We have education we have sorted. Problem is our risk-taking ability and networking skill. The moment, because why we are scared of politicians is because, we are so scared. We don't know. We consider them as something which we cannot access. We cannot talk to. We cannot get things through. Right? So our networking skill with an external world is limited because we are not brought up that way. We tell that you cannot talk to the stranger. That is what, we tell. Don't talk to
I don't think that is applicable in Kerala. Everybody will talk to anybody. Kerala is different.
Kerala,
it is the risk-taking that is scary.
Yeah, yes, risk is main. And the another, because I'm just talking from a generic perspective, especially in North and already I can see, and even Karnataka, I don't think that that forthcoming, except Bangalore is different. But if you go to rural Karnataka and all, if I send, I have to completely change my field investigators, because I send all boys investigator because it was to interior, rural area. I have to go for data collection. So I send boys because they have, I didn't get girls. So I send back. And then I had a big challenge because they have to talk to women and no women is ready to talk to them, to the boys who enumerators. Then I have to change. So this is the problem which I found, because, for them, whatever reason he has come, he is a stranger, right? So they were not ready to talk to, even for a questionnaire collection, data collection also, they were not ready to. So I have to change my enumerators to collect the data. So these all issues we have in, gender. So women becoming social entrepreneurs are difficult, but of course these models are evolving. So this is something which we can look
changes taking place. Some changes
taking place, and now from the government there is
Rosewine, I would really love to know. I've been arguing with Mriduli, who was in the planning board on gender, to give girls interest-free loans. I said, don't make just finance available at 4% or subsidized rate. Give them interest-free loans, because nobody encourages them to take a risk.
But ma'am, I think that it's not only loan which is required. They should first of all learn the financial, should have the financial literacy to manage it. Otherwise, that is, they will take loan for free interest rate and somebody else will do the business. So
no. But what I'm saying is now there are incubation centers. The entrepreneurship culture is changing. There are incubation centers in many educational institutions which support in terms of this, this management, financial management, marketing, all those kind of things that training is going on. But that I think is not sufficient. You also need to give them funds at a very practically level, because nobody tells a girl, okay, you take a risk. Boys, they might say even 1 or 2 years you lose, it's okay, it doesn't matter, you try it out. But I have found a lot of problem in getting girls to do entrepreneurship.
The Rosewine has rightly pointed out, the risk has to be shared with their counterpart. But she said, whenever there is a risk in the entrepreneur or the business, it has to be shared. The risk has to be shared, right? Then only they will get a good what you call the coordination between the all male or female partners. Then that can be covered the risk. That's what she pointed out earlier. So when you are taking a risk, that anything different what I said? No?
Okay, that is a different perspective, because I was discussing about more women coming together and sharing the risk.
Yeah, true. But because that has to be shared. The risk has to be shared within the
so not individual, but as a community. Collective, they can bring in. So as a collective, they can. That is a third model which is now evolving, especially in rural area. It is coming, because what is rural area? What they are doing is they are. This is actually their lean period activity. Social entrepreneurship and creation is actually their lean period. They are mostly farmers. Their lean period, when they don't have work, so they move to as in another one. Before, they were starving. They were having some, because of various reasons. One of which is climate variability, which I'm saying that's a totally different story. Their additional income generation during lean period has completely vanished. So social entrepreneurship is becoming one way out for them, and they can only do it if they can share the risk of starting something new. So that is what I was indicating. So that is from where we found this model.
It's true. The third model, right?
Yes, third model. Especially all these works are not from an urban perspective. It is basically rural community based works. I mostly work with rural communities, and my university is also a greenfield university in a rural area. So we mostly connect with them.
That is what you said, depends on the attitude. Urban people's attitude and the rural people's attitude are different.
Nirmala ma'am's experience will be little different from what I am experiencing, because I work mostly in rural areas.
Yeah, the attitudes are different, right?
Kerala is totally different.
Yeah. Kerala, but I worked in my PhD was with fishing communities only. So there we have faced fisher, Pokali fish, Pokali farmer, Pokali farmers,
farming
cooperatives, and the farming cooperatives we were interacting. So they were also working really nice. I don't find it was a very established one, which I had discussed. And so, yes, we need to study more.
Women entrepreneurship is a tough proposition. Even Kudumbashri, if you take, it was meant to promote women entrepreneurship. You find they've really improved the social empowerment is great. The political empowerment is great.
Yes.
But if you take the economic empowerment, it's still in the traditional areas of, catering and tailoring and small pickle making or those kind of things. But not really.
But it's a good start. Change don't happen.
No, it's a good start. But see, Rosewine, we have been, I think we have been, operating the Kudumbashri model for so many years, and you look at the economic empowerment, it's still not happened really. Very few, very, very few cases. So I think it's a branding and
marketing, and also finance management. That is also a bigger issue, challenge in this area. So that is something which our policy has to
address.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Kudumbashri is focusing along those lines.
Yes.
Now they just don't focus only on training. They emphasize on branding.
yeah, training alone, I had a discussion with the National Skill Development Program also. So one of the suggestions which I have given them is, you know, one of the, that model is like, goes like this. They will call them for skill training, and each day they are being paid much higher amount than what they can earn in their usual livelihood activity, like farming or anything. They are getting some, even in the urban area also, rural area also, they were given some 1,200 rupees per day. So I told them, don't give this entire amount to them for attending the skill-based training. Give half the amount for only if they, as a seed grant for them to start something. So that is one suggestion which I have proposed.
If you do get an opportunity, do suggest even the Prime Minister's employment guarantee. I think that major funds, I think, I'm not sure about it, but I think it's given only for proprietorships of firms, not for limited companies. There might be a lot of limited companies, because women can come together as a collective, as a private limited company or a cooperative.
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
but it is not given. The moment you hear the word limited, then you think it's a big corporate world out there.
No,
it is not. It is not. So that is a kind of this that they really need to emphasize on. Not all corporates are Ambani's and and you know, that kind of thing. Okay. Anyone else? Doubts? Or shall we?
Yes. Yes, we are. I noticed that the social entrepreneurship as a theme for the 2021 International Conference on Gender Equality. So that is something which as a solution has been suggested across. So I hope, of course, we have issues, but we can't start anything by solving all the problems. That is the way I look at it. But it is a, you know, definitely a good bet to go ahead with. Okay.
So anything else? Any comment? So shall we wind up? I think it's 10 minutes past 5, and it's a Sunday, and everybody has really put in a lot of effort these days. So I hope everyone is enriched on these aspects. So thank you, Rosewine. And shall we wind up? Chinju, shall we wind up?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you, Nirmala ma'am, for your kind comments and enlightening us. I hope to connect with you in future.
Yeah, certainly I want, because we are going through all the troubles of running a social enterprise in Kerala.
Definitely, ma'am. And I also, I am so happy to see Ravi Chet, and after a long time, I think after 10 or 15 years, I met him. Thank you. And I'm so happy to be part of this wonderful FTP program. Thank Dr. Baby PK, who has invited me for this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosewine.
Okay, thank you. Shall we wind up, Chinju?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So to the notice of the participants, we have provided the assignment, the assignment prompt and the video in the, WhatsApp group. So I urge all of you to complete both assignments as soon as possible, because we are, drawing close to the, the last sessions of the FDP. So on behalf of the Women's Studies Center and the Department of Youth Welfare, I thank Dr. Nirmala Padmanabhan for chairing today's session, so professionally, with giving her own inputs to each sessions and the discussions. I also thank our resource persons, Dr. T.C. Mariam Thomas, Dr. Sonia George, and Dr. Rosewine Joy for delivering the sessions and leading the discussions and answering the queries. We are honored to have you all for this FDP. So Dr. Rosewine has provided her email ID in the chat box. So for communications. Okay, then if you have taken it down, okay. Otherwise, I can send it to you also.
Yeah, you can send it to me.
Yeah, okay. So thank you all once again. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.